What I want to discuss today is the Stelleron Hunter Sunday theory before his drip marketing drops, because he will most certainly 100% get his drip marketing on the 8th or 9th, and if he doesn't, I'll scream. Death of the Crow. Death of the Crow is a poem that can be found in Dreamflux Reef, set in the corner on the ground near a trash can. It can be found at any time, even before you complete the 2.2 Trailblazer quest. It reads, Once upon a midnight dreary, while you pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volumes of forgotten dreams, while you nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at your chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," you muttered, "tapping at my chamber door." Only this and nothing more. Ah, do you distinctly remember the dew-doused window pane, and a dying baby dove laid in the shadow upon the floor? Eagerly you had wished the story to meet a happy end. Eagerly you had wished no birds would plummet to their demise to bewail. Some soared like shining stars bound for the sky, while others found only demise, in dust they lie. Deep into the darkness, peering long, you stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. Worms have stained satin, and flames consumed doves with broken wings. A flame-bathed raven greeted you. Its voice rasps that sings. "Sweet dreams are no paradise of mine," you gently whispered inside. When I cast my eyes around, darkness there and nothing more. Then this ebony bird bewailing your sad fancy into smiling. The echoes of ghosts bring no salvation to light. People repent, their hearts sincere, only due to them seeking greater gains. Drink this blessed potion from the Great One and erase your painful memories. As harmony's true tune changed, you'll hear a dirge plays amidst the dancing and ashes. Quoth the raven, nevermore. The unbroken stillness remained silently mocking any reply so aptly spoken, but the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling. This and more I sat divining, scrying the source of the world's pains. Your hearts grew resolute, no longer held back by confusion and doubt. Liar, you declared, the Great One is blind to worldly sorrows. Merely this and nothing more. You ascended the stage, you stole the authority, you strived for divinity, you raised the dim curtain, your self-directed farce skillfully honed. Your heart overflew with pureness, while the shadow of the puppets cast the grim shadow in their play. Your soul embered compassion, daring to forge a scale that will never sway. Behold, you proclaimed, the utopia of absolute bliss. Yet the dream shattered, nevermore. The velvet nest fell, the golden bed withered away. But the bird remained perched, as you did, come what may. The gods who once bestowed upon you love-sweet who withdrew their favor, leaving your paradise askew. Liberated from the shadows of young dove's demise, your soul will take flight, merely this and nothing more. Your old dreams are dead soil, barren of hope and bereft. Yet how can you, a noble soul, wither and fade, left adrift? I shall await your arrival with open arms and boundless hope. Here lies the truest dreams where infinite possibilities lope. Here all your ambitions shall be fulfilled and set aflame, the past forever transformed, and nevermore. Yours most sincerely, Cecil Sims. Death of the Crow appears to be a story of someone's life. Once upon a midnight dreary, while you pondered, weak and weary, over many quaint and curious volumes of forgotten dreams, while you nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at your chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," you muttered, "tapping at my chamber door." Only this and nothing more. Cecil Sims is likely the visitor, though I am unsure of when this is meant to take place. Do you distinctly remember the dew-doused window panes, and a dying baby bird laid like a shadow upon the floor? This part seems to speak about Robin and Sunday finding the injured Charmony Dove under some bushes when they were children. Eagerly you had wished the story to meet a happy end. Eagerly you had wished no birds would plummet, their demise to bewail. Sunday speaks frequently about how not all Charmony Doves manage to fly, and that many of them plummet to the ground, and specifically about how the Charmony Dove him and Robin found didn't fly, instead plummeting to the ground the day Robin left Penacony. Some soared like shining stars, bound for the sky. Robin was able to escape Penacony and tour around to various different planets, while others found only demise, in dust they lie. To allow Robin her freedom, Sunday remains on Penacony, unable to leave. Deep into that dark, peering, long you stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. This part seems to be about when Sunday first began to question the dreamscape and Veep. Worms have stained satin, and flames consumed doves with broken wings. A flame-bathed raven greeted you, its voice rasps that sings. Sweet dreams are no paradise of mine, you whispered inside. When I cast my eyes around, darkness there and nothing more. Then this ebony bird bewailing your sad fancy into smiling. The echoes of ghosts bring no salvation to light. People repent, their hearts sincere, only due to them seeking greater gains. Drink this blessed potion from the Great One, erasing your painful memories. As harmony's true tune changed, you'll hear a dirge plays amidst the dancing and ashes. Quoth the raven, nevermore. The first time Gopher Wood invited Sunday into the order, and the change from him worshipping Veep and the harmony to Enna and the order. The unbroken stillness remained silently mocking, any reply so aptly spoken, but the raven still bewailing all my fancy into smiling. This and more I sat divining, scrying, the source of this world's pain. Scrying seems to imply that the person writing this poem possesses some form of future-seeing powers. Your heart grew resolute, but no longer held back by confusion and doubt. Liar, you declared, the Great One is blind to worldly sorrow. Merely this and nothing more. Sunday's ultimate decision that the harmony and the way Penacony works is wrong, and that the order is the better way to go about things. You ascended the stage, and you stole the authority. You strived for divinity. You raised the dim curtain, yourself dedicated farce skillfully honed. Sunday before Himiko March and the Trailblazer approached him for the first fight. Your heart overflew with pureness, while the shadows of the puppets cast grim shadows in their play. This could either be talking about how Sunday uses puppets in his boss fight, or about how Sunday was used as a puppet by the Order. Your soul embraced compassion, daring to forge a scale that will never sway. Behold, you proclaimed, the utopia of absolute bliss, and yet the dream shattered, nevermore. The final phase of Sunday's boss fight, where he counts down the first 7 days. The velvet nest fell, the golden bed withered away, Harmonious Choir, the great Septimus, or Sunday, falling to the ground after his defeat. But the bird remained perched, as you did, come what may. Gopher Wood, being able to escape with very little happening to him, while Sunday was given all the blame, used as the scapegoat for the Oak family and the Order as a whole. The gods who once bestowed upon you love's sweet hue withdrew their favor, leaving your paradise askew. Zip removing their gaze from Sunday. Liberated from the shadow of a young dove's demise, your soul will take flight, merely this and nothing more. Sunday may have met his demise in the dreamscape, but he is still able to rise and take flight. Your old dreams are dead soil, barren of hope and befret. Yet how can a noble soul wither and fade left adrift? As Sunday does, at the bottom of everything, want to help people. He is misguided and went about things in the wrong way, but he did want to help people live a better life and not suffer. So how can somebody who does want to help be allowed to fade away? I shall await your arrival with open arms and boundless hope. Here lies the truest dream, where the infinite possibility lope. Here all your ambitions shall be fulfilled and set aflame, your path forever transformed and nevermore. Yours most sincerely, Cecil Sims. The writer of the poem, Cecil Sims, is waiting for Sunday, where all his ambitions shall be fulfilled and set aflame. Whoever is using the name Cecil Sims knows about Sunday's past, his present, and his future. At the time of the poem being written, the only people who could have known about the Charmony Dove are Sunday himself, Robin, and Gopher Wood. And someone who could see the past, i.e. a memo keeper. And the only person who could see the outcome of the final battle is someone who could see the future, i.e. someone like Fu Xuan or another diviner. Or Elio. Elio is able to see the future, and a cryptic poem sounds like the exact way Elio would choose to share his plans. I would like to discuss Cecil Sims in a bit more detail. The Cecil, from the Roman name Celius. It did not become common until it was given the honor of the noble family Cecil. His surname was derived from the Welsh given name Cecil, which was derived from the Roman name Sextilius, and a derivative of sextus, which means 6. Notably, there are currently 5 Stelleron hunters: Elio, Kafka, Firefly, Blade, and Silver, which would make Sunday the 6th. The name Cecil could potentially be a reference to the main character in Ghost Trick, Sissel. Spoilers for Ghost Trick, obviously. Sissel is the main character in Ghost Trick, who at the start of the game is already dead. Throughout the game, you must investigate to figure out who you are, and at the end of the game, it is revealed that Sissel had been a cat all along. Sissel possesses the power to rewind time and interact with objects and prevent people from dying. Elio can see the future and persuade people to make the right choices to lead them to the best future. Cecil is a black cat with a red bandana, and Elio is believed to potentially be a black cat with a blue collar. In Chinese, Cecil and Cecil share the same Chinese characters. Another thing that could point to Elio being represented by a cat is the achievement Save the Cat. You get by winning a battle with a team comprised of Klafka, Silverwolf, Blade, and Firefly. I firmly believe that Elio is at least inspired by Cecil, which due to the naming would mean that Elio and Cecil are one and the same, meaning that Elio sent an invitation to Sunday. Nevermore is mentioned repeatedly in Death of the Crow. Nevermore is, of course, a reference to Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven, with the first lines of both poems being almost the same. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volumes of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Once upon a midnight dreary, while you pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volumes of forgotten dreams, while you nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at your chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," you muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. The only difference between the two poems is the I's and my's in Edgar Allan Poe's poem being changed to you and yours in Death of the Crow, and lore being changed to dreams. The meaning behind the raven is meant to represent a mournful and never-ending remembrance. Our narrator's sorrow for his lost perfect maiden, Lenore, is the driving force behind his conversation with the raven. The narrator spends the poem longing for his lost love, Lenore, while the raven sits there repeating the word nevermore, almost mocking the narrator. Towards the end of the poem, the narrator begins to question if the raven is the devil come to torture him. The meaning of nevermore in The Raven is that nothing about the narrator's situation will change, because he refuses to move on from Lenore, even after he learns that the only word the raven will say is nevermore. The narrator continues to ask about Lenore. So in Death of the Crow, the narrator is Sunday, and I don't mean the narrator as in the person narrating the poem, I mean the character in The Raven who is the narrator. God, why couldn't Poe just name these characters? But instead of seeing the poem through Sunday or the narrator's eyes, we're seeing it through Elio or the Raven's eyes. So Lenore could either be someone like Robin or perhaps Sunday's mother, or it could be Sunday mourning his situation. But because he's unable to come to terms with and acknowledge the situation he is in, he can't move on from it. Interestingly enough, Sam's boss theme is also titled Nevermore, and the description reads, quoth the Raven, nevermore. I'd like to talk about Sparkle, or more specifically, her character introduction, and even more specifically, the section titled, Share Something That Has Amused You. Something that amused me recently? Let me think. Right, I made myself a figurine. Look at its expression. Doesn't it look like a puppet? How about that for fun? It should have a partner, though. Yeah, it would be pretty lonely if I just performed on stage alone, and the show wouldn't draw that much attention. How about making a little chicken as my partner? I'll give it a white suit and black cat sunglasses. Wait, no, a little peacock. Or a little swan. With you being here, my inspiration just keeps flowing. Now that I think about it, we sure have a lot of choices. I can't wait to get back to work. When I'm done, you're the first person I'm going to invite to my special little theater. I'll be going now. Sparkle, while not being able to see the future, does seem to possess some amount of foretelling ability, and all the masked fools seem to be able to break the fourth wall to some extent. Sampo speaking directly towards us at the end of the Bellabog Trailblazer quests, and asked Rickrolling all of us. In this bit, Sparkle brings up three animals, a chicken in a suit, a peacock, and a swan. The swan is obviously meant to be Black Swan. Sparkle calls Aventurine Little Peacock, so the peacock is him, and then the chicken is Sunday, as Sparkle calls him Chicken Wing Boy.
Pretty sharp, aren't you, Chicken Wing Boy?
The interesting thing is that while Sparkle simply refers to Black Swan and Aventurine as Swan and Peacock, respectively, she refers to Sunday as a chicken in a white suit and black cat sunglasses. The suit makes sense. Sunday wears a suit, but the sunglasses are odd. Sunday doesn't wear sunglasses or even normal glasses, and the fact that they're specifically black cat sunglasses, it could be explained by Elio being represented by a black cat. Being a Stelleron hunter would allow Sunday to work towards his goal of a better world, as that is largely what the Stelleron hunters are working towards, leading the world to the best future, which is one where it's not destroyed by Nanook. I believe that is all, but I do want to briefly touch on why I dislike the other Sunday theories. A core part of both Sunday and Robin's characters is that they are unable to ever be close to each other, for one reason or another. At first, it was from Gopher Wood's shitty parenting, forcing Sunday on giving up on any potential dreams so that Robin could be free to live hers, and then convincing Sunday to join the Order. Then it was Robin touring, and Sunday keeping her in the dark to protect her. And now there needs to be something else keeping them apart. If Sunday were part of the IPC, he could simply visit her. And considering Robin seems to be working with the IPC in some way now after her deal with Jade, it would be very easy for them to meet again. And it would be even easier for him to re-meet Robin if he was a member of the Astral Express. After the events of Penacony, Robin is now close to the Trailblazer, March, and Himiko. And her and Himiko are even business partners to some extent, with the Express holding 5% of Penacony's shares. So Robin and Sunday would definitely at least see each other, allowing them to meet again. If Sunday is a Stelleron hunter, the only way they'd be able to see each other is by Sunday watching recordings of Robin's concerts and interviews, and Robin watching Sunday's bounty grow higher and higher. They'd be forever separated by their situation. And that's it. I am a firm believer of Sunday becoming a Stelleron hunter, and I'm very excited for his drip marketing on the 8th or 9th, which he'll definitely be there, and I can 100% guarantee that.